Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, as we love to hear back from our viewers. Also, if you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron of our show through Patreon and or GoFundMe. Links are listed below the video in the description. From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gerry Kissell.
Hey guys, another episode of Pop Culture Minefield with Keith
and Gerry.
And we're going to be talking about nerd stuff. And the first thing out of the gate is actual news. A lot of you know I work for Josh Becker, filmmaker, worked on Hercules Xena and all that stuff. And, well, he called me and let me know that they had to do pickup shots for his new film Warpath, which I did the movie poster for. And apparently Joaquin was there too, Giro. He plays one of the Indian warfighters. And in the middle of shooting these pickup shots, the makeup lady kept smelling something. And somebody eventually mentioned maybe that it's coming from that stick pile. Maybe we should move that stick pile. And they went to move the stick pile, and there was a dead human body underneath it, for real. And you want to talk about a nightmare. I mean, that is a nightmare situation. A dead body on your movie set. And of course, immediately they shut down shooting, cleared equipment away from the area because it's a crime scene. And of course, Joaquin is a police officer in real life. He's a K-9 unit police officer. Hey, Joaquin. And he's a good friend of mine. And Joaquin also relayed what happened on the set, that he knew that it was going to be an active crime scene, made sure to get everybody prepared for their statements, secured the area, and they had to find a new location. They did about 200 yards away, and they shot the rest of the remaining scenes there. But they could still see all of the police activity. It's a huge story. I've already been contacted by some of the Detroit Free Press and about getting them in contact with Josh, because I'm their relay. You can't just get a hold of Josh. You have to go through me, through his website or through his Facebook page, and it's always me. And so I relayed all those messages to Josh. And you know, this is an amazing story, and it inspired me, and I'm going to write a screenplay based off of what happened. It'll be fictional, because I got to make it go in another direction. But I'm telling you, that's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
A dead body on a movie set. That's just insane.
Well, unless you're talking about Weekend at Bernie's and Weekend at Bernie's too.
Yeah, that's prosthetics.
Oh, okay.
That's a fake, or an actor pretending to be dead. But he did a really good job. And he's really dead now, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, we lost him. But that's my news. And I'm laughing because how crazy is that? To be shooting pickup shots for a movie and find a real dead body. And from the looks of it, it's a, what do you call it? A mob or some sort of crime-related assassination, and they tried to hide the body. And like, holy smokes. So go up there, look in Detroit, news stories, body found on movie set. Have fun reading that one. And now on to our pop culture news.
Yes.
Which is, I guess we'll start off with what you were talking about, Child's Play.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, just to set it up, were confused, like I am, or was, until he explained. Why is there two separate productions, one for TV on Sci-Fi and one in this movie? But why are they not related or connected? Here we go.
Don Mancini, who was the person behind the original Child's Play, and his people are still doing their thing. And what has happened is that another group has come along and somehow gotten the rights to make Child's Play themselves. And these are the people that have hired Mark Hamill as the voice. So, if you are a fan of the original Child's Play, know that the original people, including Don Mancini himself, are still out there, are still doing what they do. But this new movie is a completely separate production. It has nothing to do
And it's
with
straight
the-
sci-fi. It's straight sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's horror, but it's a sci-fi horror.
This is
This is not mystical.
This is pretty much the whole Star Trek Discovery situation all over again.
You think so?
Yeah, because again, the people making Star Trek Discovery, the people writing Star Trek Discovery,
Had no love for the original.
and had nothing to do
Gotcha. I see what you're talking
at
about.
all.
And that is a problem because I said this to you the last time we talked about it, is that I felt that if you're going to do this, at least keep that one element of a bad person who starts the whole thing going wrong. And in that, if this is going to be an AI going wrong, at least have him like download his brain onto the computer, because that's the magic of today is science. We can do things with science that magicians did thousands of years ago, fictionally. We can actually do through science. So I thought that would be a nice way to connect the two. But I don't think they care about being cohesive at all.
No,
with the
no,
original
because
story.
it's the reality that they're creating that they're really beholden to, and not to any version of any story that may have done anything outside.
So they're
of
like
what they're working.
Alex Kurtzmaning it and becoming experts at their version, not experts at the version.
Yeah, when you
Gotcha.
when you legally buy that, you can do pretty much anything
Whatever you want. Got you. Now my heart's broken. I don't think I'm going to enjoy that.
I think you should. I mean, it's Mark.
I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it because I love Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
And I like the trailer. I was pretty impressed with the trailer, but I know it's not going to be my Child's Play. It's going to be something new, some new iteration. Hopefully better written than Discovery.
plus.
And it doesn't take much to be better than that.
Plus, you've got two choices. You can either see the Mark Hamill, or you can stick with the Brad Dourif.
I'm going to do both because I love Brad Dourif, and I think his daughter's a cutie. She was in that BBC series recently. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name of it. It doesn't matter. It was a really good show. They got 2 seasons out of it, and the Holistic Detective Agency. Dirk Bentley, that was it. Dirk Bentley and his Holistic Detective Agency, and she
I thought it was Dirk Gently.
Maybe it's Dirk Gently.
Yeah,
Dirk Gently. And I love that show.
Yeah,
I really did.
Based on the books and stories of Douglas Adams.
Yep, Doug Adams.
Yeah, good 2 seasons.
Now, there was a
of
science
goodness.
fiction writer right there.
Yeah.
He wrote a lot of Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah.
And he wrote some of the best Doctor Who episodes back in the 80s. But, we don't have writers like that today. We have agenda-driven people that don't know how to write.
That want to crying and other emotions.
Yeah.
During even.
There's this great video, by the way, that really the guy nailed it with what one of the biggest failures of Star Trek Discovery was creating characters that we don't care about and then trying to force us to care about them.
Yeah.
And it's like when you try to force people to care about them by writing these really emotional scenes, you actually cause the people to step back. Instead of getting into it, they back away going, I'm not in on this. I don't, why is she crying? Why does she give, they're kissing now? There was nothing between them. I just went 4 episodes with nothing between them. And then all of a sudden they're smashing faces. I don't get it. And then the cyborg lady, it's like, she's not even a main character until that 1 episode. And then all of a sudden they try to truncate this opening scene to make us care about her. It failed. It was a failure. But anyway, we've got, let's see, Bond 25. Yeah. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen the official announcement, but I do know that they introduce everyone to the entire cast, but that there is no title. And I'm thinking...
I watched the whole thing and I was angry by the end of it going, what's the name?
But to be fair, they have run out of Ian Fleming stories.
Yeah.
I just think that why are they...
Well, you and I've talked about it.
Yeah. Why are they making it so hard on themselves when you have all these other official books that have been released, like the John Gardner books, and they could just
absolutely
go ahead.
That's where they should be right now. Is
of course, if they did that, then Idris Elba should be Bond
because he's an older Bond. That's right.
Yeah. In other words, Daniel Craig wants to retire from the role. If Daniel Craig continued to act as Bond, given the fact that I think he's 50 now,
He is.
he should just go ahead and do the John Gardner version of Bond, and that would all fit, and it'd be great.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have to reboot it. But one of my buddies, comic guy, said today that he didn't like the fact that they officially made his name James Bond, which is something. The conspiracy theorists of James Bond has always believed that James Bond was a code name. And that's why so many different people have played James Bond, is that it was handed over to another agent. This agent is now James Bond. And although I enjoyed that, that was from the comics, too, from the 80s. Yeah. I enjoyed it, but no.
That's not what Ian Fleming had in mind.
No, it is not. His character's name was James Bond, and that was his real name, and I stick with that. I do not agree with you, Ed. You know who I'm talking about, Ed. But I'm looking forward to seeing when they do come up with a name. As long as it's not Octopussy or anything that sounds or resembles anybody's genitals in the title. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
And all of us thought that. It's like Octopussy. You know what that meant. So, Bond 25, good cast, solid cast. It's being written by somebody that untested. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure how to feel about, but we'll see what happens.
Well, this is
a retired James Bond. He's retired at the beginning of the film, and he's brought back into service when another agent who took on the number goes missing.
It's Daniel Craig's final movie, and this is also going to have Jeffrey Wright returning
as Felix Leiter. Yep. One of my favorite characters.
And we haven't seen him since Quantum of Solace.
Yep.
James, move your ass. That was the final line he had in
that bar. Yeah. Yep. That was a great scene. Oh, just gave me goosebumps.
Of course, now, a lot of you out there might know him as one of the main characters for HBO's Westworld.
Yes, and he's also in that really weird Netflix movie. It was good, though, where he's brought in to track what happened to this child, a missing child that's been killed, and what a wild ride that was. There's a scene in that film where there's a battle, and it's an it was either an M60 or a saw. I think it was a saw, and the guy opens a barn door and just opens up on all these cops, and Jeffrey Wright is out there, and it is an intense combat.
That is a good scene, because he's in there, and he's strapped
He's just in. And he wants to help this guy.
Yeah, but he can't.
And he can't. And then the guy gets obliterated right in front of him. And just, what a fucking movie. I wish I could remember the name of that movie. It reminded me in many ways of Windwalkers with Jeremy Renner, which is a very similar film.
Yeah.
And Scarlet Witch, two Marvel MCU people did a movie together. What are the odds of that?
Huh. Not unlike Chris and Scarlett Johansson making a movie that they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've actually caught other films too where people have teamed up and gone off and done other stuff together. I like that. Mm-hmm. But we've got some exciting stuff with this Bond thing. And I want to go back and just say one more thing. Great cast. I look forward to seeing what they do. I'm not so sure about the writing, but in the end, I'm hoping that they stay true to Cubby Broccoli's Bond and do it honor and send Craig off to pasture and bring in another actor that doesn't suck. We'll see. But anyway, it was 22 minutes long, and they shot it in Jamaica at GoldenEye, his place in Jamaica.
Yep.
Ian Fleming's. So there you go. And that's where that movie got its title, GoldenEye. Got it from the place where he wrote all of the James Bond books. Every single one of them. Every single book was written there at GoldenEye. So, and they bring that up in the little film or video. But anyway, I guess one last important thing to talk about is something he's very passionate about.
Look, I have been saying for quite a while, since Disney officially purchased Fox, there's a few things they keep leaving off the list of projects and stuff they should be talking about, like the fact that the mouse pretty much owns Buffy, Angel, and Firefly. And you've heard nothing. Now, Joss Whedon is back with another television series. He's one of the lucky guys who, lucky people in the business, that has been given his own television series. And this is going to be called The Nevers. And it's going to be for HBO. And this is going to be a Victorian adventure about 5 women who find themselves endowed with special abilities.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
I know nothing about this, so this is news to me.
The really cool thing is that Joss will be reuniting with 2 of his best writers from his Buffy years. Jane Esperson will be coming back along with Doug Petrie to help with the writing duties.
I like Doug Petrie.
And Joss will be the showrunner.
Doug Petrie is a good writer. Good writer.
So it is the best way to put it is if you took Penny Dreadful, combined it with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and sprinkled in a little bit of the Avengers.
I'm in.
And this is for HBO.
I mean, are we going to see a little bit of steampunk involved here?
I think there's also going to be some of that.
Because, I mean, there was steampunk in Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think...
So I'm guessing from this that there's not going to be a Batgirl movie?
Not from Joss.
He's not going to be involved with any more DC movie? No?
He's not going to be involved with any more Warners.
Yeah. You talk about, it's like, it's that whole, we're going to sex you up. We want to get to know you better. Come jump in bed with us. Oh, we'll be dating. We'll have a great long relationship. And then they get what they want from Joss, and it's like, there's some money on the nightstand. You go catch a bus or a cab. Good luck with your life. Thanks for giving us sex. That's Warner Brothers. That's how they treat people. That's what they did to Zach, too.
And Josh.
And Josh.
One right after the other. Both of them got done.
On one movie. One movie, 2 directors. Warner Brothers sucks. Even though they put out some good properties,
yes,
they suck as a studio.
They got no people skills.
Yeah, they just absolutely are the worst players when it comes to showrunners and directors.
Also, check out the new commercial or segment they put out for Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new one out there now.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought, now, this is my general reaction. Just hear me out. I've read the comic books. I know that the Swamp Thing's a good guy. So why did they make it look so scary when he makes his reveal? I thought that was a mistake. And other people agree with me. Susan agrees with me. Because we talked about it. I said, that was a mistake to do that.
Yeah. Because
he's a hero. I also think they need to tone back on the preachy green thing. Even though that is thematically part of the Swamp Thing from the very beginning, don't get preachy with your audiences. You drive them away when you do that. Don't get too preachy.
Make the good show so that later on down the road, then you can do the preachy thing.
And I have a lot of faith in James Wan. I like him as a filmmaker. And so he's the showrunner on this. I don't know what direct involvement he has with it as far as each individual episode, the writing, etc. But I do know that he puts out quality stuff. I like what he does. I like his idea of horror, which is up here. It's more about what's going on up here rather than shock. I don't want shock. I want to be horrified.
Yeah,
that's why most scary films aren't really scary to me. It's just like, oh yeah. The whole using the music thing, the key thing, a key in, and somebody that comes up, and a famous writer once said that, his name was John Carpenter, said that most modern horror filmmakers don't understand how to use that.
Yeah.
They actually misdirect you, not understanding that was supposed to direct you. That if you do a reveal of a character putting a hand on his shoulder, like in Halloween, remember the cop comes up behind Donald Pleasance, puts his arm on it, no musical keynote to scare you. There was no shock there. It was just the hand coming up, and he reacts to it, but no music. because you're telling the audience that cop's the bad guy when you do the musical key, those notes.
Yeah.
You're telling them they're the bad guy. That's a bad misdirection. It's bad directing. And John Carpenter, not me.
Yeah.
That's John Carpenter. And John Carpenter has over half of my top 5 favorite films of all time, because that guy knows how to write and direct.
There he does.
And with that, I guess we've come to the end of a Saturday episode. So you guys are going to go out and go, or this is Monday.
It's Monday.
We record early. We're not even going to lie about it. We're like Craig Ferguson. It's Monday.
Whoops.
What are you going to do? Don't hate us. Don't hate us. Smash the like button. Comment. Let us know. We would like to hear more from you guys, what you would like us to be talking about.
Ask us a question. Hopefully something that both of us can answer.
Yeah. Any suggestions, too, other than derobing, because that's never going to happen. But we will, we love to hear back from you guys. Let us know what you think. Smash the like button, subscribe, and click the bell to get updates from us, because we post every day, except Sunday.
Yeah.
It's because I'm a Catholic. No, it's just Sundays suck. You got to take one day off a week for the show even. It's like bulk up on the good stuff. So we will see you next episode, and you guys have a good Monday, and see you Tuesday. And with that, this is Pop Culture Minefield with Keith.
And Gary.
We're out of here.
See ya.
Bye now. Y'all come back.